How's it going? Do we choose our family? The short answer to this is yes. So you can close the video now. You've learned something new. Isn't that great? Okay, so why would we choose our family? A lot of us would agree, okay, that we've been here many times, multiple lives, and a lot of us would believe that we are working towards something greater. We're working towards enlightenment, for want of a better word, or something higher, or this fuller human, higher human experience. This computer game that we're repeating these levels again and again and again until we unlock it, until we find the way through, until we evolve sufficiently in this level to get into the next level, to get into the next level. And from that higher place, from the non-human or the spirit, this looks fantastic. This is a game. And if we can understand that this is a game and we can retain that understanding or that observation, it's a game. As Bill Hicks said, it's just a ride. Enjoy it. But we come down here and then we get stressed with all that list of shit, and we forget that it's a game, we forget why we're here, and we just kind of crash our way through life unaware, getting carried away with all this emotion and chaos, and something goes wrong and we ride that chaos of outrage for a while. Oh my God, this happened. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Whereas if we can step back and be a bit higher, we can observe it and see that it will pass. So I've covered this before. I won't cover it again. Now, if up there we decided to come down here and to evolve further and go further, would we just dive into the soup and randomly be spat out with whoever, God knows whoever, any old family in any old part of the world with any old experience? So every culture has its own problems and own challenges that have to be overcome. If you live in communist Russia or China back in the day, or if you lived in the US in the 50s, or if you live, in a strongly religious country, you've got all that cultural shit that you've got to overcome. We as spirits, it's kind of irrelevant, but we as humans, we all, like the flag wavers and the voters and the waving their flags and flags in the lawn and all that kind of shit. It's all just brainwashing. It doesn't really matter. From a higher place, it doesn't matter at all. But we've got to overcome that to be greater, to expand. We've got to overcome religion to expand. We've got to overcome. Now, these things can help us along. All of these things help a little bit, until they don't help anymore, until it's time to actually let go of it. The problem is that when something helped us once, we can still hang on to it. It's like the dysfunctional relationship, it's like the relationship that's run its course. It was helpful for a while and it was wonderful, and we were in love and everything was perfect, and then we hate each other. It's like, why the fuck isn't she, she used to be so nice and now we hate each other and I want to kill her. It's just run its course. It's evolution. Move on. It's the same with religion or your job. All of this stuff is just growth. Move on to the next one. Move on to the next life. So to get back to the topic of the actual video, do we choose our family? Why would we choose our family? Well, we would choose them because these challenging people that we want to kill from an early age mold us in a certain way, and they give us an opportunity to learn certain things, maybe to be stronger, maybe to be more arrogant, maybe to be more angry, maybe to push out in a way that we didn't push out previously. Maybe it's karma. Now, personally, I'm not sure. Some days I believe in karma. Some days I think it's another trick. But maybe it's karma. Maybe we're forced to come back and face certain things until we own it, pay for it, absorb it and move on, let it go. Now, I have a difficult experience. I have difficult experiences with my family. I haven't killed them yet, but there's still time. From my experience, what would the purpose of why would I choose these insane people to be in my life? Well, as much as I do want to kill all of them, I have learned things from them, and they have helped me become the insane person that I am. In kicking back, in fighting them, it has forced me to be stronger. Like, for example, there's, I don't know, there's Napoleon Hill, I think, talks a bit about it. That there are a lot of very wealthy people came from very poor backgrounds, and that poverty drove them, it molded them to achieve. From having nothing or very little, they just had to escape it, and they just had to have something greater, a different experience. So it was beneficial in a sense. That poverty or that hardship drove them to live a very different life. So out of the challenges that we might experience with our family, it can drive us in another direction. In some cases, it can drive us to the other extreme, which is unhealthy. It's like the kid who never received anything growing up, never had any gifts or anything, and then raises his children and gives them everything. They're just spoilt, and it's no replacement for interaction or parenting or love. So giving stuff is not the solution, but it pushed that parent to explore another experience, to drive in another direction. When we are traumatized and we're in the shit, it's pretty much impossible to contemplate the idea that we chose our parents. See, we humans like to think that we choose the things that are enjoyable. I just got a new job and I bought a new car. I chose this. I just lost my job and my car was crashed. I didn't choose this. I got a disease. I didn't choose this. But I chose my perfect partner. My partner's a psychopath. I didn't choose this. So we like to own the things that we like and reject the things that we dislike. Well, the reality is, we choose. Now, there are other factors coming into this shared experience, but we choose a lot of it. And we're responsible for how we react to a lot of it, or if we react, or if we kick back, or if we can kind of let it wash over us and make an inspired decision from it, from that place of chaos. There would be a number of people in my life that I would be aware of through my ceremonies, through meditations, that I would be aware I know from previous lives, previous existences, mainly from early ancient Egypt. But it would be my understanding that I know them. And increasingly lately, there would be more and more people that would be entering my life that I'm familiar with. And I'll talk about this at another stage. These would be women that I'm working with that are being sent to me, and I would have worked with them in previous lives. I would be very familiar with them. As of yet, they're not so familiar with me because they're working along their path. But some of them, I'm just really comfortable with them. I just know them. It just makes perfect sense. It's obvious to me. It's a hand in front of my face. Can you not see this? This is obvious. Not all the experiences with some of these people were pleasant. Some were quite traumatic, the bits that I'm aware of. But there's still work to be done, between us and into the future. So it's not just the one life, it's the continuing life, continuing lives. Each of these little pieces help to kind of build the jigsaw bit by bit. So if we look at the one jigsaw piece, it doesn't make any sense. We don't really know why would we be learning this. What's the point of this person? But if we put them together, it makes sense. And, The Red Line by Maria Zeppes, link below, would cover that accurately. A number of lifetimes put together, you start to see the evolution of a person. You start to see why this trauma or these families or these people helps to mold someone in a certain way and give them a full-bodied experience. It's like that we need to experience hardship to appreciate and understand happiness or feeling good or life being good. Obviously, us being humans, we don't want the hardship. We just want everything to be brilliant. It doesn't work that way. So the difficult families or the difficult experiences are both beneficial in that they help us appreciate the better people or the better times, but also that the challenge with our families or with people close to us, there are lessons in these, in these relationships for us to look at and to own and to learn from and to try and conquer. There is, I think it's a Buddhist saying, if you think you're enlightened, spend some time with your family. And it makes, we're also spiritual, we're also happy. And then we go home for Christmas and we try to fucking kill each other, So there's a lot of truth in it. And it just shows that there's work, there's still work to be done around the family. And running away from them or ignoring them, I ignore mine a lot. It can be done, but I'm also very aware that if I don't face this stuff in this life, I'll face it in the next one and the next one and so on. And it might not be these same people or the exact same experiences, but it will be the same dynamic, the same challenges, the same difficulties that I just have to surrender to and face. And that doesn't mean be walked on or abused or put up with their shit. It means overcome it, know how to live with it, know how to deal with it, know how to respond, know how to not make it worse, know how to not kill them, Anyway, so now you chose your family. Good luck with that. Thanks for listening. I hope it was of use and maybe got you thinking. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Share it around. And I'll talk to you. Thanks. Bye.